she just reported an extra half an hour. The combat readiness group and major sects staying in the city have all arrived to prepare for battle. Upon hearing this, Benson was somewhat puzzled. The combat readiness group and major sects have several seniors in the false core realm. Are these evil cultivators foolish to directly confront them head-on? Stetson explained that those seniors came here just to attend a certain exchange conference and coincidentally got involved in this matter. On second thought, if we were to launch a surprise attack using Sage, would it be possible to succeed? Benson sighed. Even with Golden Core Sage, it's probably impossible to guarantee success. Instantly defeating too many false core realm cultivators, not to mention the freakish realm realization required for ascending to Golden Core at this time. Stetson smiled awkwardly. What Master Benson said is true. I was too naive. But he was actually thinking, there is indeed a Golden Core cultivator on our side. But he might not be able to make it in time. And at the same time, on the nameless peak of South Mountain, Liana, Uncle Master, and little junior sister are guarding the cave entrance, preparing to make a fire for cooking. They suddenly receive a message from Stetson. Liana, Uncle Master immediately realize the danger. 5 Divine Sect is the sect of that evil cultivator, right? Doesn't that mean Reticent and Silent are in danger? At this time, Ethan's voice came from the cave. It smells so good. Junior sister, have you cooked the meal for me already? Then, after spending many days in seclusion, Ethan finally emerged. At this moment, he looked ragged all over as he yawned and walked out of the cave. He saw little junior sister by the fire pit. He subconsciously thought it was the disciple that Liana had just taken in. But when he took a closer look, the other person turned out to be the one he had been yearning for all these years, overlapping with his thoughts. Ethan then instantly came in front of her, excitedly asking, "Are you Ruthie?" Little junior sister was momentarily stunned and stood still without reacting. Ethan looked at the stunned little junior sister and quietly lowered his head, saying, "Ruthie, I am your father. You may not have seen me before. I'll go tidy up myself first. I'll come see you after I freshen up." After saying that, Ethan turned around to get ready to freshen up. However, he was informed by Liana. "Senior brother, I'm afraid you don't have time now. Get acquainted with Ruthie slowly. Reticent, Silent, and Jolie have run into trouble." Upon hearing this, the father and daughter were both surprised. And at this moment on the Stetson side, with the landing of several helicopters, everyone assembled. Now on their side, not only do they have the assistance of the Elder Master of the Talisman Sects, there are also 2 special investigation team instructors joining. The one on the left is Rogue Cultivator Roberto, and the one on the right is Mac from Dragon Tiger Mountain. Stetson can see these cultivation police instructors. They all seem to be false core realm cultivators. Suddenly Roberto walked over, smiled, and greeted Stetson. "You must be Reticent. The plan is simple. You go to the appointment and attract their attention. Rest assured, we'll protect you in secret." Stetson and senior sister quickly bowed in courtesy. Thank you to all the seniors. At this moment, Roberto took the sword from his back. He handed it to Stetson as a gesture. "I heard that your previous sword was destroyed, Reticent. I'll just give you this sword then." Stetson waved his hand quickly. "This is too polite, right?" But Roberto didn't care about this. He directly shoved the sword into his hands. He patted his shoulder and laughed. "You just take it. This is a gift for our meeting. Otherwise, Ethan will definitely play dumb with me again." Stetson couldn't help but twitch his mouth when he heard it. He could only accept it. At the same time, he thought to himself that this senior seems to be an old acquaintance of Master as well. Talisman Sect Elder Master is preparing to enter the battle together. In addition, 2 false core realm instructors are added, and the well-prepared cultivation police force. They have such a luxurious lineup. At the agreed time, Stetson and female master then took the speedboat to the island as scheduled. On the way, female master repeated the battle plan. Reticent and others will lure the evil cultivator of the false core realm Sage over, and the combat readiness group will launch a surprise attack from the other 3 directions. Rescue the hostage as quickly as possible. Although it's a bit forced, try to lure the evil cultivator to our side later. Stetson nodded in understanding. We can delay for some time later. Hearing this, Benson was somewhat worried. Won't killing the evil cultivator directly later anger them? Stetson steered the speedboat and looked ahead. They said that matters in the cultivation world are to be resolved by the cultivator. The less we care about the hostage, the safer they will be. We're nearing the shore. Proceed as planned. After landing, Stetson and the others heard a strange laugh. It's you who killed the elder of the 5 divine sect, right? Sure enough, a large number of evil cultivators from the 5 divine sect were already waiting for them here. However, Stetson just smiled and drew his sword. It's me. How can I help you? The evil cultivator on the other side didn't have time to finish his clamor. Stetson directly swung out a sword chi. He didn't give him another chance to speak. He then coldly said with a sword in hand, "You guys from the cultivation world will handle the matter of the cultivator. Now that I'm here, you still want to threaten me with ordinary people. If you want to kill, then go ahead. I'm here today to eliminate evil and uphold justice. If you let them go, you won't even know how many people will be harmed." A voice suddenly came from the woods behind the evil cultivator at this moment. Kill his disciple. Reward you with secret techniques. You killed these 3 people. Bring that leader to the island. Upon hearing this, the evil cultivators all rushed towards Stetson as if they were injected with chicken blood. Stetson, however, just smiled faintly. Then he lightly tapped his toe. He wielded countless sword chi and easily killed all the evil cultivators attacking him, as if cutting vegetables and melons. In just a moment, he took care of a dozen evil cultivators. Seeing this scene, Benson and senior sister, who were watching on the side, were also a bit surprised. They did not expect Reticent to be so terrifying once he became resolute. Just looking at this scene, they really couldn't tell who was the helpless mortal and who was the bloodthirsty evil cultivator. At this moment, an evil cultivator in the woods couldn't stand by any longer. With a shout, they rushed out, ready to work together to kill Stetson and share the credit. Stetson, seeing this, knew that the other party had fallen into a trap. Next, what they need to do is gradually increase their own side's weight to draw out more evil cultivators. Later, Benson also displayed his sword mastery and joined the battle. He quickly dealt with 2 evil cultivators. Stetson made eye contact with him. Then he looked towards the woods ahead. Immediately, he decided to charge in and fight. However, just as the 2 were fighting against the evil cultivator, in the earphones, there suddenly came the command for female master to retreat immediately. A team of sages is heading towards your direction. The other false core realm has not made a move. Focus on self-defense first. If they really hold the hostage, we will launch a direct attack. Stetson and Benson have received the orders. They will immediately return to the seaside to meet up with senior sister. Meanwhile, Stetson also instructed senior sister not to hold back later on. Senior sister nodded in agreement. Sure enough, not long after, more came. The evil cultivator rushed out from the forest. Benson immediately warned Stetson to be careful. These are all genuine nascent embryo realm cultivators, each enveloped in a malevolent aura. I'm afraid that some of them have truly practiced dark arts. At this moment, senior sister placed her hand in front of her chest. Then she displayed the Yin and Yang Chi, the vast primordial unification. The Yin and Yang vast primordial formation was instantly activated. A vortex of Chi was formed immediately, sucking many evil cultivators into it. Stetson and Benson locked eyes for a moment. They immediately started working together to kill these evil cultivators. The evil cultivators, seeing they were no match, prepared to retreat. But at this moment, it was already too late. The heaven and earth chi here has already been disrupted by senior sisters Yin and Yang, rendering them incapable of mustering any strength and leaving them at the mercy like lambs to the slaughter. Meanwhile, Deep within the island, the top members of the 5 divine sect are gathering here. Rhea, the sect leader, spoke coldly. These useless things. A few younger generation members cannot handle it. Everyone. Why don't we all join forces to catch Jolie, and then escape directly? Immediately someone raised a question. It's easy for us to leave. But what about those disciples? Rhea jumped directly onto Ford and smiled. After catching Jolie, we'll immediately escape. Leave them to attract the attention of the officials. Turbulent times are coming. If you have the strength, why worry about not being able to recruit followers? At this moment, Stetson and the other 2 are still killing evil cultivators in the formation. Not many evil cultivators are left hiding in the woods, and they see these 3 individuals as too powerful. They immediately prepare to turn and run. But before they can make a move, a skull flies out from deep within the woods. It instantly arrived in front of Senior Sister. Fortunately, Stetson appeared just in time and slashed the skull with a sword, barely blocking it. Then he saw the newcomer. Stetson directly mocked. Do you have no shame? Dealing with the 3 of us at the nascent embryo realm. Do you need to use 4 false core against me? Rhea sneered coldly. You will die here today. Just as I said. Everyone, tonight is our moment of glory. Spare no effort to capture Jolie. As for the others, kill them all. With a command from Rhea, all evil cultivators rushed towards Stetson and others as if they had gone mad. And at this time, on the side of the female master, they also received reinforcement. They have received the message to advance towards the central island. We can enter the second phase of the operation now. So she spoke up directly. Everyone, let's get started. Just as she finished speaking, a column of water shot up into the sky behind female master. For false core realm sages appeared in front of everyone in an instant. Rhea immediately realized that she had been deceived. She cursed Stetson as despicable. However, she had not finished speaking. Roberto had already swung his sword toward him. All is fair in war. Rogue cultivator Roberto learned Rhea's superior skills. Rhea only exchanged a move with Roberto. She realized that Roberto's cultivation achievement is not inferior to hers. It's hard to shake off in a short time. So she decisively ordered Ford to catch the thief first. You go quickly catch Jolie. Ford is seen walking towards them. Stetson and Benson immediately hold their swords and stand ready. They did not expect Senior Sister to suddenly grab their shoulders at this moment. Then she threw them behind her as if she were picking up a chick. She faced the tall Ford alone. Ford looked at Senior Sister coldly and said, You are very strong, but you're just a nascent embryo. You cannot withstand false core. Today you must die. With that, Ford charged directly towards Senior Sister. Senior Sister was not afraid at all, and used the Yin and Yang 2 principles technique. She controlled everything freely with her hands. She faced Ford's powerful and forceful attack. Senior Sister easily resolved it with softness, overcoming hardness. Then she struck Ford's chest with one palm. She forced him to take a step back. But at this moment, there was a dark shadow that quietly snuck up behind female master. Luckily, Stetson discovered it in time and cut it off with a sword. But this person's realm is clearly superior to Stetson's. With just a casual wave, he blocked Stetson's sword. He even scratched Stetson's face. Stetson quickly swung a sword chi and backed away. Upon seeing this, Benson made a quick decision. He asked Stetson to take the female master away first. He would stay here to block them. Stetson didn't hesitate. He picked up the female master and ran towards the forest. And over here, the situation also caught Rhea's attention. She thought to herself that he actually failed. But the opponent was just 2 nascent embryo realm cultivators. As long as he could delay a little bit, he would definitely be able to catch Jolie. I need to disturb the minds of these few people now. Buy him some time. Rhea then shouted directly. Followers of the 5 divine sect, obey my order. Kill all those mortals. Leave not a single one alive." But she had just finished speaking when a hurried sound of footsteps could be heard not far away. Shortly after, a report came from the Special Operations Team. All the hostages on the island had been rescued. Rhea and the others suddenly became nervous. And the arriving group of people did too. They officially entered the second phase of the plan. Integrate all forces and completely annihilate the evil cultivator. As for Stetson's side, after settling female master down, he then took off the void spirit on his back. He is preparing to go back to help. At this time, the man who had just fought against Benson unexpectedly used the sand control technique. He trapped Benson's flying sword. Benson lost his flying sword and his strength was greatly reduced. He could only hastily retreat. Fortunately, at this moment, Stetson finally arrived to support with a void spirit in hand. He just didn't expect the other party to show up at this moment. They condensed a suit of armor using sand and stones. Then he further grabbed hold of the void spirit with just one hand. He mocked that the Wudong 7-star sword was nothing special. But he was immediately proven wrong. Stetson operates true essence to exert force. He broke through his defense with one blow and let out a scream. But this completely angered the opponent. He shouted, "Get lost!" and then erupted with powerful true essence of the false core realm, sending Stetson flying out. Stetson dropped the sword to the ground. He spat out a mouthful of blood. Senior sister, who was fighting, immediately became distracted when she saw Stetson injured. Stetson quickly shouted, "Senior sister, I'm fine. You just focus on the fight." Senior sister turned around and became serious after hearing this. And the Sandman, enraged by the blow just now, shouted that he would kill Stetson. But fortunately, the Special Forces team has already surrounded them. Now Stetson and Benson just need to team up to keep him entangled and prevent him from escaping. Not long after, the Special Operations team surrounded them. They said to leave it to them. They asked Stetson to take a break first. Rhea saw that the situation was lost. She immediately called for Ford to retreat. But she didn't expect this move from her. She jumped onto a Tai Chi formation. Senior sister waved her hand not far away. She controlled her on the formation and couldn't move. Roberto also seized the opportunity. He leaped into the air and stabbed towards Rhea with a sword. He successfully killed her with one strike. The situation is set, Rhea's fate is sealed. The rest of the evil cultivators no longer have the power to resist. As for the other remaining leaders, they have also been executed under the joint efforts of all the sages. Ford, who was surrounded by 7 or 8 instructors, died the most miserably. His body was beaten until all his bones were broken, and his protective energy was shattered. On the other hand, during the rescue mission, a false core realm sage cleared the way, allowing all the hostages to be rescued safely. With the arrival of the combat readiness group personnel, the follow-up work was also carried out in an orderly manner. As for Stetson, he sat by the seaside. He closed his eyes and nestled in senior sister's arms. At this moment, female master walked over and asked Stetson if he wanted to stay in the special investigation team. After all, Roberto and the others mainly guard the border. The investigation team needs Stetson's help. Senior sister looked at Stetson and gestured for him to make a decision. Stetson thought for a moment and then said, "Let's discuss this matter with Master before making a decision. Besides, I promised Benson to visit the Sword Sect." Female Master breathed a sigh of relief. She was about to ask Stetson what reward he wanted. Roberto and Mac then walked towards them. It turns out they also came to recruit people. They want to recruit Stetson to join their combat readiness group. At this time, several people suddenly noticed someone in the air. They immediately became vigilant. They shouted for anyone below false core realm cultivation achievement to quickly retreat. This is Golden Core Realm Sage Golden Core suddenly descending from the sky. Everyone goes on high alert. 2 instructors even directly ordered the missiles to lock on. But at this moment, Stetson raised his hand. He smiled awkwardly. The one above looks like my family's master. Then Ethan shouted from above. Evil cultivator, where are you? Stetson quickly replied. Master, all the evil cultivators have been wiped out. Why don't you come down first? Ethan realized he had come for nothing. He then asked directly, As long as the demons are gone, it's fine. Are you injured? Your cultivation achievements are low, so don't cause trouble for others. Upon hearing this, Mac couldn't help but twitch at the corner of his mouth. Those two little guys, with low cultivation achievements. Roberto smiled. This statement actually makes sense. After all, their master is Golden Core Sage. Then he shouted towards Ethan in the air. Why don't you come down and gather with us? Ethan explained that he came in a hurry, and his clothes were torn by the strong wind, making it inconvenient to show up. He asked Stetson and the other two to come over and talk to him if they were free. Later, Stetson and senior sister went to pay their respects to the master. But they saw the master in this state. Stetson couldn't help but laugh out loud. At this moment, Ethan appeared with disheveled hair and tattered clothes. There wasn't a single piece of intact fabric on his body. He looked like a beggar. At this moment, Stetson suddenly took off his own clothes and walked towards Ethan. He intended to give his clothes to Master to wear and meet the female master. I didn't expect Ethan to cover his eyes. This child actually has impure thoughts about me. Your senior sister is so pretty. How could you develop such a strange habit? He said it in a way that even Stetson felt like crying without tears. Sure enough, Master is still Master. But Stetson quickly took off his clothes and handed them over. Master must have met junior sister, right? The mother of female Master junior sister is right here. Ethan sighed. Well, so be it. We will have to meet eventually. I'll change my clothes first. You guys wait out for a moment. Upon hearing this, Stetson immediately asked senior sister to go and call female master. Ethan also changed his clothes quickly. He no longer looked as disheveled as before. The two people who had been separated for many years met again. Female master still said with a cold expression, I still have a lot of work to do. You may speak, but please try to save time. Ethan didn't finish speaking before he hugged her tightly. You avoided me for 20 years. It drove me almost crazy. I don't want to lose you again. Female master instantly fell into temptation. Her eyes softened. I really regret leaving in anger back then, I'm sorry. You don't have to treat me like this anymore. Besides, I don't have much energy to deal with things outside of work now. Ethan smiled. I know. It's the special investigation team, right? Are you still hiring? I don't want to be separated from you anymore. Besides, this can also help provide resources for Stetson and the others. Female master agreed to the offer immediately upon hearing it. All right. I will give you the best treatment. You won't have to run errands. Follow Roberto and their standards over there. Monthly allocation of pills and spirit stones. At this moment, Ethan suddenly asked, What about me? Who knew that the next second female master grabbed his ear. You're doing the dirty work for me. Ethan smiled. Yes, yes, yes. How about I do the dirty work for wife? Watching master and female master already flirting. Stetson, who was hiding in the back, was stunned by what he saw. That's it then, he thought. But the conversation had only just begun. 3 onlookers behind him chimed in. I knew it, said one. Reticent usually calls her leader female master. There must be a story behind it. Investigation team leader, Golden Core Realm Cultivator are also here. Immeasurable Venerable. Stetson was a little speechless at the sight. Are you all this idle? But it's also fine this way. Master's long-cherished wish has finally come true today. He finished handling the matters of the 5 divine sects several days later. Stetson followed Benson to Mount Shu. Although he came ostensibly to help the sword sect this time, it is also an important part of his cultivation journey. In the previous lifetime, he was searching for fortune. He has also visited Sword Sect several times. He just did not expect that after being reborn. He unexpectedly came back here again in a helping capacity. When the two of them arrive at Mount Sword Sect, the elder has been waiting for a long time. He walked over and praised Stetson. Being so young yet possessing two sword intent reticent, truly a genius in swordsmanship. Stetson quickly saluted with clasped hands. You flatter me. The two principles of sword intent in my body were gifted by Elder Master. Elder was also somewhat surprised to hear this. He never expected that swordsmanship realization could be imparted to others. Benson coughed twice to remind Elder that it was time to focus on the matter at hand. Elder smiled. No hurry. We also need to make some preparations. Reticent should rest for a night first. Let's discuss the matter of the trial after being well rested and ready. So Stetson was arranged to stay in a small courtyard. At this time, he was cultivating the Mount Sword Sect in the courtyard, focusing on swordsmanship. The essence of Taoism and Wudong also have obvious differences. It seems to provide guidance for him. So what sword should he draw in the future? Suddenly, he remembered the words Master said to him that night on the island. Fighting with one's life to kill the evil cultivator, despite the leg injury, and forcibly rescuing others. Arrogance is a common ailment of the young. But in cultivation, one must first cultivate the heart. To become immortal, one must first be human. The 72 swords are also your fortune. I cannot stop you. But after the trial ends, I want you to return to the mountain for 3 years of seclusion, focusing on cultivating and reflecting on what you have gained during this time. Write down the stable word in your heart. Thinking back on these, I also feel that since coming down from the mountain, I have indeed become a bit frivolous and impatient. In the end, he still lacks the awe for heaven and earth cultivation that he had at the beginning. Just then, a bell suddenly rang. Stetson also instantly snapped out of the state of cultivation. He found out that it was actually Zen sound. Next to Mount Sword Sect, there is actually a temple named the Buddhist Path. Stetson found it immediately after discovering it. Benson asked what was going on. It was then learned that the temple called Purple Rock Temple has been in existence for over 1,000 years. It was originally in decline, but due to a complete lineage of Buddhist Dharma transmission heaven and earth chi revival, it slowly started to revive. However, Stetson was still a little puzzled. Why didn't the Sword Sect allow them to move away? Benson also mentioned that he had asked the sect leader, but heard that many thousand-year demon leaders were suppressed there, and now that the heaven and earth chi has been restored, it is unknown whether those demon leaders will come back to life. Upon hearing this, Stetson looked up at the sky and couldn't help but feel emotional. There are too many secrets in this heaven and earth. Given the chance, he really needs to broaden his horizons. Then he turned to Benson and asked, "Can the Taoist master take me to visit Purple Rock Temple?" Benson smiled and replied, "Sure. I was planning to take you around this morning anyway. Let's change clothes later. We'll go to the temple and see the Buddha statues and such." Stetson thought for a moment. The Sword Sect ceremony is probably going to take some time. He decided to report to the master first. Then he will go with Benson and the Taoist master to visit Purple Rock Temple. After he told the master about the matter, the master just casually said, "It's fine. Remember to show proper manners as a guest at the Sword Sect. Also, there is a monk named Jace at Purple Rock Temple. You can ask him to pass on his 20 years of pure skill to you." Stetson couldn't help but twitch at the corner of his mouth. "Master, are you serious?" Ethan smiled as he helped his wife with her shoulders. "I was just joking with you. But Purple Rock Temple is not far from Sword Sect. If you have some free time, could you please give my regards to Jace Monk?" Stetson smiled. He didn't expect that Master had such a wide circle of friends. He even knew people from the Buddhist path. But he tried not to watch Master and female Master show their affection. He still hung up the phone quickly. At the same time, he secretly pondered. After the heaven and earth chi revival, various schools of Taoism quickly rose to prominence in the succession of Tao. The Buddhist path on the other hand, is completely different. Only in some small temples will a few high monks emerge. It's unknown whether this purple rock temple is also a hidden gem. Soon Stetson and Benson arrived at the Purple Rock Temple. As soon as they arrived at the door, Jace warmly greeted Stetson. "You must be reticent. Ethan has mentioned you to me recently. By the way, has Master found his wife?" Stetson smiled and returned the gesture with a fist. Thanks to Jace's concern, Master and female Master reunited a few days ago. Jace was also happy to hear the news for Ethan. Then he looked at Louis Abbott behind him and said, "If that thing is true, the nearby sword sect might be implicated. It's rare for Benson and Reticent to come. Let's have them take a look too." Louis Abbott heaved a sigh. "The two of you coming today must be fate. So be it. Please follow me to the water well in the backyard." Shortly after, the group arrived at a water well in the backyard. According to Louis Abbott, this place is called the Demon Sealing Well, and legend has it that it hides a demon sealing formation that suppresses an ancient demon that has been around for 1,000 years. Before the Heaven and Earth Chi revival, it was possible to see a cave at the bottom of the well. However, after the Heaven and Earth Chi revival, the formation inside the well activated, and the cave disappeared. However, just last month, there was another change here. In the meantime, Jace reached into the well. The next moment, he had a clump of demonic chi in his hand. Then he looked serious and said, "The formation, after enduring thousands of years, is reaching its breaking point. It could collapse at any moment. When that happens, the suppressed ancient demon may awaken and cause chaos in the world once again." Upon hearing this, Stetson and Benson were both terrified. The fact that the ancient demon, suppressed for thousands of years, is still alive shocked them. Even a golden core cultivator, with abundant chi, only has a lifespan of a little over 800 years. Surviving for thousands of years even with depleted chi. What realm must this ancient demon be in? If he really breaks free, it would definitely be a catastrophe for the mortal world. Therefore, after learning that a millennium-ancient demon is suppressed in the Purple Rock Temple, Stetson immediately contacted the Special Investigation Team, while Benson also informed the elders of the Sword Sect to come and assist in the investigation. Although the ancient demon has not awakened yet, no one dares to provoke it rashly. After all, dealing with a millennium-ancient demon requires even the Special Investigation Team to proceed with caution. The investigation team has ultimately decided to invite the High Monk to assist in blessing the formation and purifying the demonic chi, while they also conduct geological surveys of the surrounding area to devise a combat plan. On the other hand, the Sword Sect has made a commitment as well. Once the ancient demon shows any signs of activity, they will immediately rush to provide support. Because of this matter, the trial of the 72 swords has become the top priority for the Sword Sect. After all, the more Tao succession they have, the more confidence they will have in dealing with the ancient demon. To this end, the Grand Elder has instructed all members of the Sword Sect to accompany Stetson in his cultivation starting today. They are to assist him in breaking through smoothly with his sword intent harmonious. But the 72 swords have been passed down for thousands of years after all. The key point lies in testing whether the challenger's sword intent is harmonious. In order to improve the success rate, Stetson focuses only on perfecting the most certain 7-star sword intent. After thousands of collisions of his sword intent, he almost exhausted all his vital energy. According to the Sword Sect's methods, this is the easiest time to have realization and breakthroughs. It seemed that Stetson had reached his limit. The elder suggested stopping for the day. He asked Stetson to spend a day in realization before continuing the day after tomorrow at noon. Stetson wearily returned to his residence to reflect on today's gains. Although the Sword Sect Taoist master nourished his 7-star sword formation with his own sword intent, what exactly do they mean by harmonious? Does it refer to the ultimate in sword technique? The 7-star sword intent focuses on changes. But what if this is just one of the realms rather than the true ultimate? The Big Dipper revolves around the Z-Way star. The sword formation is also based on this. But what if controlling the Big Dipper from the position of the Z-Way star? Then he can make the sword formation move with him, freely, and as he pleases. Without specific moves, the sword intent condenses, but how should he then execute the techniques of the sword? After pondering for a long time, Stetson finally understood. Heaven and earth, one sword. A sword is a weapon. No matter how exquisite the moves are, using a sword is ultimately to kill the enemy. If he eliminates all the variations of the moves and only retains the sword intent, it was here that Stetson reversed the 7-star sword formation and transformed all the moves into pure sword intent. For a moment, a powerful sword intent soared into the sky. This moment attracted the attention of the sword sect from top to bottom. Stetson also completely understood at this moment. Being in the Big Dipper controlling the 7-star formation, this is the true 7-star sword formation. Soon after, Benson and Elder hurried over. They asked what had just happened. Stetson scratched his head apologetically. It seems like my 7-star sword intent accidentally harmonized. Afterwards, Stetson reversed his 7-star sword formation. He told Master about his comprehension of the 7-star sword intent. Ethan praised Stetson without hesitation after listening. But he felt somewhat incredulous after hanging up the phone. The 7-star sword formation could actually be practiced in reverse. Is this formation really handed down by the ancestors? Is it modified based on the Wudong 7-star sword formation? At this point, Ethan took out a box from his pocket. Originally, he had planned to wait for them to condense their golden core before opening the treasure of this sect together. But now, he wanted to open it first. See what the ancestors really left behind. He is practicing the 7-star sword formation in reverse. He eliminates all variations in moves and only focuses on sword intent. I didn't expect that he actually understood the true essence of the 7-star sword formation. He has completely mastered the harmonious sword intent. The next day, Stetson underwent a night of settling. He has fully mastered the 7-star sword intent. Elder also walked over at this moment. Very good, very good. It seems that reticent, you have fully mastered the 7-star sword intent, but we discussed it all morning today. I still want you to decide. Are you planning to go challenge the array now, or strengthen it for 2 more months before going? Stetson asked Elder with a cupped fist whether the study of 72 swords only involves the swordsmanship realm. He received an affirmative response. Stetson decided to go challenge the obstacles today. He soon arrived at the location of the 72 swords trial.